Carroll County Commissioners meeting to order for September 18th. And I'll wait for public input from anybody. Seeing no public input, will Commissioner Babson, you went to a meeting last night. You want to give a report on that?
Yes, I attended the Cooperative Extension monthly meeting of the advisory board. In reporting to the board, I reminded them that there was a RFQ out for RFP is out for the old nursing home, and that, are they interested? And they unequivocally said no, they're not interested. So,
Really?
yeah. Well, the university doesn't have any money, and they're not going to invest in a piece of property here that isn't theirs, so I don't blame them.
I guess I would have had a little different pitch on it, saying that, yes, I'm interested, but we can't afford to, we don't have the money. Because if the delegation, if they really want to, they could save the money that they're paying for rent, put that towards a bond.
Oh, absolutely.
Do that, but if Cooperative Extension's not interested, well, that's the
I didn't
end of the
imply
issue.
they weren't interested, David. They're not interested in coming down here and rehabbing the building
At their cost.
at their cost. They're
Okay.
anxious to come down here, and if we can work a deal, I think you're absolutely right. We should be putting the monthly rent towards bond payment and do it that way.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Not a very long meeting, I take it.
One of the first ones we've gotten out before 9 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah. We evaluated the 4-H leaders, 2 of them, and that was about it.
Okay. Anything else to report on?
Not this week, it was a slow week.
Okay. Ashley, you have anything to report on?
No, not today.
Okay.
I thought we don't give
You have
any
minutes?
reports if you look at the agenda.
I know. You have any minutes to approve?
Well, I just got this on my desk, but once again, it doesn't say anything. It just said we have public input and we're going into non-public.
What about the minutes we were supposed to get?
And
There are 2 sets of public minutes outstanding.
Okay.
I got this, this morning on my desk.
September 4th and September 11th?
Right.
Okay, September 4th. I see that on page 1, my non-public statement is taken out.
Your non-public statement.
Yeah, it was in, it is taken out.
What's your statement?
Something about this or shtick. I think it was in the other set. Do you have the other set? Because this is like a whole new set.
Well, the question
It said
was,
draft 2.
the question was last week whether Commissioner Kenney had made a statement in public or non-public. And we agreed that it was non-public, and that was what was taken out of the minutes.
So on this set of minutes, it said draft 2. So we have 2 drafts, is that correct?
Well, this draft replaces in its entirety the previous draft, so the draft 1 is out of the loop.
But people from the public already have the first draft.
Well, it was taken down off the website. It was
And,
replaced.
and of the website, people already copy and printed out from the website the first draft.
Well, maybe, I don't think there's anything we can do about that.
Yeah, so now we have a second draft on the website, and we are passing out a second draft to the public, is that correct?
Correct, yes. The second draft is the one under consideration, which will be, if approved, will become the final.
And then we're going to put the corrected minutes also beside the draft. So we have 2 drafts,
We'll
and
put
then
the
we have a
approved
set
minutes.
of...
We have 1 draft on the website. If people have copied it, there's no way to get it back, but I asked Cheryl to take down the first draft and replace it with the second draft, so we will have the replacement draft on the draft side and the approved minutes on the approved side, so still only 2 sets of minutes, a draft and a final.
Are you ready to approve the 4th?
What does the commissioners, any corrections? What did you change from the first draft? Did you take only my non-public statement out, or
No,
did you
no.
make any corrections?
All the
too?
changes that were suggested were made.
But that should be made in a corrected set, though.
Well, you want to make a motion before we start discussing this?
Yeah, but listen, this is confusing now if you make all the corrections in a draft. I thought the corrections were made, then we had approval, and that is where we made.
For discussion, I'll make a motion that we approve the September 4th
I'll second.
minutes. Now, you have discussion.
So, you approving this now a draft? is that
September
correct?
4th, we're approving draft 2.
It said draft 2.
Yep. Any changes or corrections? All those in support of approving the September 4th minutes, say aye. Aye.
I oppose.
You oppose?
Yep.
Okay. Pass 2-1. September 11th minutes.
Those are from last week. Um, Did I vote it no? I don't remember. September 4, the commission had voted 2-1 to unseal a group of minutes. Commissioner Kenney voted no. So this
That's correct.
statement was done and made also in a non-public session, correct?
Correct.
Mr.
So
Chairman, I
we
think the
put
proper
in-
procedure is to make a motion to approve these and second it and then discuss the minutes.
Yep. You want to
I'll
make
make a motion that we approve of the minutes of September 11th with any following corrections that may come along.
I'll second it.
Okay, so page 1, do we have another statement was done in non-public? I don't remember what the vote is. It said he 2-1 to seal a group of minutes. So that is non-public information is back there. It said had been tagged with seeing that appropriate copies were made and posted and filed. I remember that the only text was that I should make a copy because we're going to put it in the release minutes map. That is what we're going to do.
I'm sorry, I'm lost on this one. Where are you, Commissioner?
Bottom of
Page
the
1.
Yeah, okay.
Bottom paragraph.
Okay, let me see page 2. Because there was a lot of irregularities going on there.
Commissioner Babson, do you want to bring your change forward on that, on page 2?
Yes, I'm going to when we get
Okay,
there.
all right.
Okay, bring your change.
And well, I'm trying to figure out the changes that Commissioner Kenney wants to make on the last paragraph. I don't understand what they are. I guess I'm not gonna find out, so let's go to page 2.
Go ahead.
First of all, it would appear the Commissioner Kenney's reasoning for taking the minutes out of here was because the HR assistant raised some questions. I believe Commissioner Kenney's response to why she took him out of here is she had to check him for liability. I know that was said at least 2 times. And then the next part of that, she objected strenuously to the characterization of her actions. Who is she referring to? The HR person, Commissioner Kenney, or somebody else?
Okay, page 2,
Yep,
at the top.
yep.
Commissioner can explain it as the minutes of the meeting. And she therefore took time to review it again. Yeah, I don't think the HR assistant should be there. I don't think we talk about the HR assistant.
You had mentioned,
the
you
HR
had mentioned
assistant raised
that
a
the
question,
HR
Karen.
assistant had three, remember the discussion about the
No.
3 sets of minutes? And
We're talking about the staff down.
No, that's what I'm talking about, the
There
Cheryl.
is no HR assistant now.
Oh, all right, that's right, she's the, it's not the HR assistant, it's the commissioner's assistant.
So, and that is administrative assistant.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. I misnamed her.
She objects to the character.
Okay, anything else?
Commissioner Sorensen is saying that a vote was taken to unseal them in non-public, and then they really soon and a copy was made. Okay, that was not reported to me.
That's true.
What is that, David?
This one right here.
I'd like to see
Also-
you add both Commissioner Sorensen and Commissioner Babson, because I believe we both agreed on that.
And then it
I'm
was
sorry,
done in
and what?
non-public.
We're down 3 sentences on page 2.
Uh-huh,
Commissioner Sorensen disputed that,
it should be Commissioner Sorensen and
and
Commissioner
Commissioner
Babson.
Babson.
We both
Is that what you
agreed-
want?
Yeah, we both agreed that they were public domain after we unsealed them.
You know, I read the sets of minutes, and you said somewhere that non-public was done from July 31st. I know that you wrote somewhere. I don't know if, did you put it in the September 11 or the
Down on the
September
bottom.
4?
Down
On
at the bottom
page
of
2.
Page 2.
She referenced the meeting, okay, if you look at that, it said the meeting was essentially orientations for the new employee. It was nothing said last week at this meeting.
I can't tell what to say.
So somebody just put it in. Just put in. You cannot just put things in what not have been said.
What are you doing? What are you saying?
Said here, the
Yeah.
meeting was essentially orientation for the new employee.
Commissioner
Nobody.
Kenney, it'd be a lot easier if you told us what page you were on and what paragraph.
Page 3,
Page 3 at the top.
Three. And whereabouts on the top?
on the top.
Meeting was essentially orientation for a new employee.
Yeah, so that sentence has been put down, that should
As
be
a
taken out.
commissioner, he has the authority.
We cannot
to
just
meet
put
with any
things in.
department.
We had it a while ago, that we had people just putting everything in, and we can't.
Orientation for a new employee.
And there was also another statement that has
So
been
what's your,
put in.
what's your correction for
She
that?
wants to take that last sentence out.
The meeting was essentially orientation for a new employee?
No, that was
Yeah.
the
She
meeting
wants to
with-
take that out?
Yeah, it was the meeting with you and I and when that, after the,
Yep.
And there
Why
was
would you
another-
want to take that out?
Because nobody talk about it. We cannot just put things in the minutes. We've
Oh.
been there through a while ago. We had it, that somebody was a while ago just putting all kinds of stuff in. The minutes need to reflect the spirit of the meeting and not just putting in whatever we want to put in. And there was another statement that I read that
so
was not correct.
do we take it in or put it in or take it out?
Not yet. we
That
haven't.
was
Okay.
about the non-public minutes that you put in. You said that it was put in because it was in reference to to the spring. You reference to that.
Where are you
said-
now?
Wait, hang on.
Any idea where she is, David?
No.
You wrote in those minutes that non-public minutes was put in and you referenced to the spring. Do you know where that is? Because
Oh.
those are the two corrections what I had.
Wait a minute now, yeah, I think I know where the second one is. Oh, no, that's in the previous weeks. This is, I don't know, which week are we on?
That
We're
is in
on-
September 4th.
That's in the September 4 meetings, that's in a different
And
meeting.
which page is that? Do you know which page that is?
On
Page
Sep-
6.
On September 4, let's see.
On page 6 in this week, we're jumping back to last week. What's going on?
Because there are statements put in what nobody ever mentioned in the meeting. We cannot do that. just put on whole statements.
Okay, on page 5 of 6, on the previous week's minutes, September 4, Commissioner Kenney said that she will present minutes from 2013 that are not yet submitted.
No, it is not that. It is something else. Anyway, if I will find, but anyhow, there is a statement put in about my non-public statement from last week where it said needs to be taken out. It was in the minutes that I was referring to the non-public of spring, and that was not true. That
Commissioner
was the
Kenney,
non-public minutes from
where are
last
we?
week.
What are we doing?
Where are we?
No, I'm referring to a statement that you made. Are there any corrections by the commissioners?
Are we back to this week's minutes?
Yep. Because I know the statement.
September 11th.
I got it. I just didn't
Oh,
know
here we go.
whether we
Yeah, I
still
found it,
have
where I should put it in.
What page are we talking about?
So, it's page 6 of
September 11th.
September 11.
Okay.
If you look at the bottom, it said, on page 1, regarding discussion of submission of minutes from non-public meeting in the spring of 2013.
Yeah.
So, what are you referring to? The statement what I made was that you put non-public information in last week, and not in the spring of 2013.
No, the discussion is regarding the spring of 2013, not the minutes of 2013. The statement you objected to was discussion during the non-public session regarding minutes of the spring of 2013, and I took them out of the previous week's minute. That's why we have a second draft, and that's why we pulled the first draft, because there's no point in taking it out of the second draft if the first draft is still up and still has them. So we excised them completely.
It was not about the spring of 2013, those minutes.
Well, that was the statement you objected to, which we can't really fully discuss in this meeting if you object to it.
No, I didn't object to the spring of 2013. That is inaccurate. What I was saying last week, that you put non-public information in a statement, what I make, you just put it in a public set of minutes.
But the
It
statement
had
was...
nothing to do about the spring of 2013. This is confusing now if the public read it. They think this is something else. It was about last week. You put in my non-public statement in the last week minutes, and that needs to be taken out. And now
And
you
it was
said it
taken
was
out.
about spring of 2013, and it was not.
no,
That statement is inaccurate. Because you put it in, and it was not about a discussion of spring of 2013. It was not. Any other corrections of the set of September 11?
What about the top of page 3? We're going to leave that statement in or take it out?
So we already talked about page 1. Let me see, as clerk, she said she had me.
Top of page 3.
Yeah, the meeting was an orientation for a new employee. Do you want to take it in or put it in, or leave it in or take it out?
Do you know who made that statement last week?
I
Who made
did.
that statement? No, you didn't make that statement.
How do you know?
Because I know that you didn't make it. I hear what you were saying. You said you have the authority to meet with any department head. That was your statement, and not this.
Okay, where are we? Did we make a motion to approve these minutes?
The
And
minutes were approved for discussion, yes, and the motion is made, I think.
We had a motion to approve them, right?
We
And
had.
seconded?
that was already done, I
Yes,
guess.
yes.
Okay. Any further
Let me
comments
see.
regarding the minutes of September 11th?
Yeah, page 6, I already said that was inaccurate. And page 3, we're putting statements in page 3. And we talk about, you put the HR assistant in, that should be taken out. And if you go to page 1, and he said that he had been informed Commissioner Kennedy would move minutes that's been unsealed. You never put in my statement that a text was just to make a copy and put it on my desk. That was the text intent. That is not even there. You know, I think a lot of the statements here are inaccurate, so I'm voting against this whole set as inaccurate.
Do you have any corrections?
Nope.
Okay. And call for a vote for September 11th minutes. All those in support of the motion say aye.
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 I oppose.
Okay. Okay, the next item on the agenda is to go into non-public unless there's further
We
business.
get further business.
Go ahead.
Jason talked with me, Superintendent Johnson talked to me about what we would charge for the Belknap prisoners, and he called around and came up with a price of $57.50. Do the other two commissioners want to accept that or not?
5760?
$57.50, and they pay all our medical bills.
That's $57.50 per
Per
day.
day.
Per day, excuse me, yeah. Yep.
So
Per man.
57.
Okay, Belknap, what you're saying, Belknap County would pay us $57.50 plus all medical costs
Right.
to house their inmate?
Yep. For 3 through however many they send over.
This is the proposal, or Belknap is agreeable to it?
This is what Belknap agreed to pay.
Okay.
And how many?
So what does it cost for a prisoner for us?
I have no idea. Some people say 120, others say 80.
So why would we accept $57.50 for their inmates when it's costing us over $100?
Well, that's a good question, but Jason called around, and that seems to be the going rate within the industry.
So how
within
much
the
are,
county.
how much are we paying again for the inmates in Carroll County?
$57.50.
No, what we are paying here.
What is it costing
What-
us?
What is it here? It was like 115, huh?
Anywhere from $80 a day, I guess,
No,
to
I think we're
120, I
paying
don't
here
know.
115. It was over 100 that we're paying here to house an inmate. But
I
if
would-
this is the going rate everywhere, why is our rate then so high?
we
Because
have
he said
fewer.
this is the going rate.
I think we need to look at this a little
Okay.
bit more.
Okay, I'll tell Jason.
And I'd like to know, was it about 9 inmates are we talking about? How many?
We're talking about, Commissioner, that we all agreed to 3 or more.
Oh, okay, we're talking about 3.
Let's look into that a little bit more and get an accurate cost of what it cost us to house an inmate.
Okay?
So 3 or more.
Got anything else?
We got 2 more.
Okay.
Are all the evaluations now complete? Have you got them all?
No. Have you done the evaluations?
I'm going to see if I have it down because I know you've been asking for it. I completed.
See, the answer to your question is no, I have not received them.
Well, the
The
minutes,
two
I
from-
believe the minutes say that they're completed, so we either don't have them or we do have them. Somewhere in one of these minutes it says the evaluations are done.
I'm waiting for the evaluation from Commissioner Kenney on Superintendent Johnson and Cathy Garry.
Okay?
Those two have not been completed.
And didn't we do
And that
these
was done back in
evaluations
March.
4 months ago or 5 months ago?
It
or
was
6
done in
months ago?
March.
Time to get them in.
I completed them, and I don't think you get it that day. You didn't get mine that day? I think you get only the other one, so I think I
If,
put them away. I will bring it again.
Okay.
And
What else you got?
do we now have all the minutes in for non-public for 2013? At one time, Commissioner Kenney said she only had May to do, and my chart shows that we have May, so are we completed or not?
What was the minutes we had last week? Was
You
that
had
May
from- You
1st?
had from May. Yeah, you had from May, and I think you still need to sign up on a couple. We're not signed up.
Do you know where they are?
Yeah, they're downstairs. I have to go get them, but I thought we're doing that into non-public. And
Okay.
I think you already, didn't you see already from May? You read it
What's
last
that?
week.
You're the clerk, you're in charge
You
of
read
keeping
it
track
last,
of
you
them.
read
Okay.
it last week.
Anything else?
No,
You have anything else?
No.
I guess I'd open it up again for public comment if you want to make comments. Yes, Melissa?
We watched last week's meeting unfold, either in the room or repeatedly on the video for those of us who just can't get enough of it. And we watched several employees and elected officials be treated pretty poorly in this room. So I was wondering about, I think it was about a year ago, there was talk that all elected officials and department heads would be undergoing harassment policy training, and I was just wondering if that ever happened.
I don't know if that,
It was going to be campus-wide. It was suggested
I'd
around
have
the
to ask
time.
the HR person whether she did it or not.
Okay. So have any or all of you had formal harassment policy training, conflict resolution, employee relations training as it relates to your job as a commissioner and your
I
supervision of
attended one
employees?
that was given by Primex
Okay.
over a year ago.
Do you think that might be a valuable training for the Board of Commissioners to attend?
can you teach an old dog new tricks?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I think it would be valuable.
Yeah.
I haven't had it.
Okay. Kronos, I'm just checking on the status of that. Is it all set? Is it up and running? Is there still problems? What's happening?
Want me to answer that?
Go ahead.
I discussed that, I was going over the invoices, and there's another invoice this week for a pretty good chunk of dough for training, so I came up to see Winnett, and apparently it is not working properly yet. Only been 4 years, you don't want to rush it.
What's the issue? Do you know? or-
I'm not an expert, Melissa, I can't tell you. It has to do with making sure that the proper amount of time employees here is somehow recorded.
Okay. Is there still?
I just
that-
know we are not in a standalone position with Kronos at this time.
Okay. It seemed in the past that there might be too many steps to it or levels of it. It was going from the departments to the business office
Mhm.
to HR. I mean, everybody had a piece that they had to do, and all the pieces had to be done in sequence, or it just didn't work. So are we still kind of, are there too many steps to it, or
We'll ask them to come in
is
and
there
give
one
a-
person
give
in
an
charge
update
of it
next week
yet?
as to where the Kronos system,
Okay,
what's lacking.
okay. How's the audit coming? Audits coming? For
The
two-
audit for,
2011 and 12, has that started? That auditing firm from Portland that you contracted with, have they started their work for the financial audit?
The company that we voted to give the audits to.
oh, I don't know.
It hasn't started as far as I know.
No, I don't believe it started, but the company out of Portland was the one that was hired.
Okay. And we're coming into fall, and when does the budget, when do you start meeting with your department heads and figuring out your budgets, and when does that whole cycle start?
That will start in October. It has to be in by the end of November.
Has to be
It
in the
has
state
it
by
has to be into
December
the
1st,
state
isn't it?
by the first week of December.
Okay. And that's your budget, and then we get into the whole delegation process
Yes.
over the next 4 months following that?
Yeah, that starts sometime the end of January.
So on the employee evaluations, if I remember correctly, you guys did the 360 type evaluations.
Mhm.
And so each of the commissioners had to write a separate evaluation on the department heads?
Correct.
Yes.
So you didn't write one as a whole, you each one of you were assigned to do that.
Yep,
And so you did one for each of the department heads?
Yes.
right.
And then you met, so technically, they've already had their evaluation done, right? Didn't you meet with each of them? And I guess my question is, how can you?
We met with Jason and we met with Howie,
Okay.
and the other two would be,
We met with Cathy too, we met with all of them.
yeah, I guess we met with all of them.
And Will, you met with Will.
Yeah, we met with
you're
all.
saying. So I guess my question is, how could you have completed Jason's and Cathy's if you didn't have all of the commissioners' evaluations?
We did it with the two of us.
You just had to,
We brought, the individual came in for their evaluation.
okay.
We had our paperwork, or at least David and I did. I don't know about Commissioner Kenney.
Jason was here and I interviewed him, and I wrote down, for a few, I put it all in, but I didn't hand it over, because it was a little confused. There were other evaluations too, from other people, and later they came back and they find we're not going to put those in, we're going to put the commissioners in, and I took mine back, so I have to bring it back. So I don't know what a big
I'm
deal
not sure
is.
that that's correct. When we met, we evaluated, the three of us supposedly evaluate the department heads.
But other people evaluated
Who
too.
did?
You had other people, other employees.
The,
We had
the-
other evaluations too. First you were going to put
Yes.
all the stuff in, you said we're putting that in. But later, I think the following week or whatever, you came back and then you find, no, we're going to not do that in, and now we want a commissioner. So I took mine back. And then you said, can you bring it back? I want to have the evaluations. So that is what I have to bring back. But it was done. I interviewed Jason. I wrote everything down. But then they were going to take out all other ones and they were going to put now only the commissioner's one. But it is done. I mean, I just wrote it in.
I'm not sure what.
It hasn't gone into their file yet because it's not complete for those two individuals.
We were given evaluation forms that we were supposed to do before we interviewed the individual.
Okay.
I know I did.
And I did.
David did. I don't know about Commissioner Kenney. We brought them in. We also had the evaluation of the immediate
Subordinates.
subordinate to that individual. And we looked them all over, and when we were done, I believe Commissioner Kenney is correct, we decided that we would put only the evaluations of the commissioners in the sealed envelope and go in the personnel file, and I guess we're still waiting for two.
So did the other two commissioners find any difficulty meeting their obligation in this process, or did it seem to go fairly smoothly, in your opinion?
We did ours on a timely basis.
Okay. I'm not really sure if this is well, I'll ask about the old nursing home first. Have you gotten any responses to your RFP for the old nursing home yet?
We got one from probation.
Okay. Was it a letter of interest, or is it a
letter of
an
interest.
actual- Okay.
Yep.
We had another one, and they did the numbers and decided that they didn't want to do it.
That was the families in transition?
Well,
one,
it was a
or-
group of individuals from Wolfboro who were working with family in transition. And I guess family in transition was the big mover behind it, and they decided they didn't want to embark on a repair job.
Today you meet again to go over non-public meeting minutes for release. It says on your agenda you're still working on that process.
That's right. We'll go into non-public as soon as you're through.
Have any of the minutes that you did last week been physically released? I noticed the
Yes.
spreadsheet's updated, but I didn't see any on the website, so.
We made a motion last week to release them. And they should be, they've been copied and put in the right folder.
You're talking about
Michelle.
lawsuit? I don't know.
I have the redacted ones that are ready to release as soon
Oh,
as you
okay.
review them, and I think the ones that required no redaction went directly to Cheryl Lund. I
So
don't know.
Cheryl has those.
Well, she had them at one, I don't know what her status is with them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they should have gone to her.
We've got some that we had to change, we could only partially release some of them, and so we'll look at those again today, and they will be released.
Okay.
Well, if the non-public minutes, the 8, 9, 10, what you have there redacted, if it was not sealed, it needs to be released as is. She can only make redactions if it is sealed, so I don't know what she's redacting. Maybe that's why you said it was a vote taken. I don't know if I vote no. Probably they were not sealed and redactions were coming, so I don't know what it was about. I have to check it because it was done in November.
Any further questions?
Last week was really confusing, the whole talk about releasing the minutes and them being taken back and all that. So one of the things that came up is that you didn't have the authority to release the minutes because you'd taken the vote in non-public, but you didn't repeat it in a public session.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find anything in the law that requires you to do a double vote. If you take a vote in non-public, it's my understanding that you're allowed to take action outside of the meeting. For example, if you are going to a non-public and you agree, you vote to terminate someone's employment, you don't have to wait till the following week in public to vote on it again.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that the same would hold true for whatever votes you take in the non-public, including releasing non-public meeting minutes. You don't have to then wait a week and take another vote. And I guess that's just a statement, that's not a question.
That's your interpretation. Why are we going into non-public then? If a non-public session, we go into non-public is sealed, we don't vote to release it, the information is there, it's sealed. Why are we all going into non-public? Why are we not doing everything in public? So everything what we do in non-public is just open there.
The
That's why we have
discussions,
all the information leaking, because everything what is done in non-public, it's out in the public, or it's given to you.
2 weeks ago,
do you
we made-
have
Go ahead.
information, do you have documentation that information has been leaked from the non-public and given to me? And if you do, I'd like to file a request and ask for that documentation.
Well, look in your own paper. You write about a lot of jail issues and other issues.
okay, we're not
What
going to
is
have a
still
debate
sealed.
going back and forth here.
Yeah, but
2 weeks ago, we released minutes and we voted in non-public to release them. Those have been released. Then we made a motion to seal those minutes, that seal the minutes of that 2-week meeting, okay?
Okay.
Those were released. Last week, we did a similar type thing. We released minutes, we made a motion to release them, with the exception of those that we had to redo, and those will be released today, officially released.
So, but the sessions were sealed from the last 2 weeks, huh? They were sealed. We sealed the session, okay?
So
we
your
just
question
seal the
is,
session and
I guess
release
I just didn't have a
information.
question. If you make a decision in a non-public, you're allowed to act on it without another vote in a public meeting. You've already made your vote.
yeah,
Perhaps the public can't be privy to the conversation that you had in the non-public session, but whatever action you decide on in there, you can take care of it outside of the non-public meeting. Otherwise, you'd never get anything done, which...
well,
Well, so-
I guess the point is that they were released except for these few that
Okay.
had to be changed.
Okay, so
Okay.
today is just about reviewing.
Reviewing those
redactions
and
and
going
whatever.
back and reviewing those years to make sure we get everything properly done.
It looks like you've been able to release most of the non-public meeting minutes
That's correct.
as you've gone through them, so, okay, we'll look forward to it. Thank you.
And they will be in a booklet form that will be open to the public, and also those that were released will be held by the clerk. So she'll have a copy, and the public will have a copy, so we know which ones were released. Okay?
Okay, so I have a comment on the former county employee, Mrs. Seamans. She was saying
Let me say,
that
let me correct something,
I-
Commissioner.
I have a
First of all,
comment.
she was not a county employee.
I was.
What was she then?
I was
She-
Commissioner Sorensen for a few weeks, and like I said a couple of weeks ago, I made $734 filling in as a minute taker when they were in between. My name is Mellissa Seamans. I'm a reporter for the Carroll County Independent. I'm an Effingham resident in your district. If you could stop referring to me as a former employee, I'd appreciate it.
But you are a former employee or not?
What is it? What is the point?
That you are a former employee.
I asked you 2 weeks ago, make the point.
All right, you get
Yeah,
your,
you are a former employee, so you have unusual access.
this is
Okay,
getting to be.
so I have, now, can I make my comment now?
Yeah.
Because she brought several stuff up. She said last week she had watched the video numerous times because employees are being treated poorly, something like that. She made a statement. Do you mean that a simple text that was asked to copy certain sets of minutes and put it on my desk? I referring to the text from the commissioner. I just asked, can you copy this and put it back on my desk? Lack of cooperation is also something. You're talking about harassment training for the Board of Commissioners. I think there should also be a diversity training. Thank you.
Should also do that.
I don't know.
Can we get that in English?
What's that? Okay,
She said diversity training. Diversity training.
Yeah, I said that.
I'm repeating this, Commissioner Babson didn't hear.
Thank you.
okay. Okay, we make a motion to go into non-public? To finish our minutes?
Oh, let me get the magic sheet here. Okay, I'll make a motion that we go into non-public to finish up Mr. Comeau's 91A request, whatever we've got left to do at this point.
And we need to get that in by Friday, the 20th. I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? All those in support of the motion say aye or roll call.
Roll call vote, please. Commissioner Kenney?
Yes.
Yes,
Commissioner Batson?
Yes.
and so voted. So we're now in non-public to do the job that we've been working on for the past 3 weeks. And I would recess so I can go down and get all those minutes.
You need to state which 91A paragraph you're going into, just reminding me.
Paragraph 2, A, B, and C.
Thank you.